Well, one of the things we do on this channel is speak up for logic. Now, I want to preempt studied logic and philosophy now for, oh boy, coming on 25 years. I am the first one to tell people logic doesn't matter, philosophy doesn't matter. In terms of actual critical thinking, it doesn't really matter. The vast majority of people don't want it. They don't like it. They are really hostile to thinking rationally or logically. We're just not made for it. But still, logic has some uses, and it can be a powerful tool. It really doesn't work for the most part in the real world, but it's a thing. So I'm looking at one of Jenna's new propaganda videos, and to give her a lot of credit, she did speak out very early January about Aaron's, manipulations. And I feel a little bit mad at myself because a lot of people were in the comments saying, oh, she's going to go back. And I was like, she wouldn't do that because just tactically, she would have no credibility. If after what she said in those videos, where she was very clear that Aaron was abusing, lying, and manipulating her for years, her going back would show that she has no ability to think for herself. She's just a scared little animal and doesn't really have the fortitude, much less the intelligence, to be an activist. And guess what? She went back to Aaron. So I feel like an idiot, but it is what it is. She's made her choice. So apparently she thinks grifting, lying, and being stupid is the way we're gonna quote stop Scientology. So she put out a garbage video about Shelly Miscavige. Now this is a real controversy because it's not correct to say that Shelly's been kidnapped or missing. Apparently she is somewhere in one of a secret California bases with Scientology. That's neither here nor there. It's her trying to do propaganda for Aaron and the Aaron cult because Aaron's scandals and crimes are becoming more and more exposed because of his links to Louis Repetto, Tommy Scoville. I've done a ton of videos on it. I'm going to do more. But I just found one section particularly offensive on so many levels. One, it's the amount of lying and stupidity was off, even for Jenna, even for Aaron. I'm like, first of all, her rambling didn't make any sense because I was very confused. I'm like, wait a minute. Do you mean Scientology schools or do you mean schools in general? Do you mean US schools? I don't know what you mean. I mean, I'm like, two things became very apparent. Like her actual knowledge of schools in America seemed to be zero. So either California schools, they do things really different out there, or you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm speaking with a lot of authority because in my background, I do have some background with education. My private life, it's not your business, but I know a thing or two about schools. And I've been told these things from my relatives as well, because they have children in schools. And I've seen it up close. I've seen it behind the scenes, up front, and I've done tons of research on education. Education in this country, education in foreign countries, Cuba, China, Europe, Japan. So Germany, I know the history of schools, the history of education. So I'm speaking with a lot of authority here. I wish I could play the clip because it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. But I know her. She's going to copyright strike the channel, so I can't do that. So I'm going to summarize, which I don't like to do. I am going to try to screenshot with the transcript. And again, I'm more concerned with her words, although her presentation was also pretty stupid. So let me just go where I do agree with her. Okay, so it's pretty obvious that the Scientology schools are very suspicious in terms of what they're doing. Scientology schools are kind of weird. There are straight out Scientology schools, and then there are basically these like they're pseudo schools. They're not technically Scientology schools, but that's what they are, right? They're masquerading as real schools, but really they just have Scientology in the curriculum. So the problem with her presentation is she kept skipping back and forth between quote, normal schools or Scientology schools. Because I don't know what the hell she was saying. I am not doing this for clickbait. I had no clue what the hell she was talking about. Because she was like going in one ramble about instead of teaching children years of calculus, maybe they need to be taught how to think critically and think about human rights and think about their rights as children's. Well, I go Google this in 3 seconds. Apparently, Jenna, I don't mean like she's been in the real world. Let's back up. She's been out of the cult for decades. So does she not do any reading at all? Does she do no thinking? There are tons, and I mean tons of lawsuits that children, teenagers, parents have against schools. All kinds of schools, public schools, private schools, any scandal you can imagine, whether it's got to do with right with money, lack of education, lack of proper care. There are tons. My mouth is just dropping. If she thinks, quote, the average child or teenager is not aware that they have rights, you're stupid. You're stupid. There are now reams of bureaucracy. There are tons of lawsuits. There are tons of. This is not hidden. This makes national, local headlines about, oh, the school is getting sued over this. The school is getting sued over that. And by the way, the school or the teachers could be totally innocent sometimes, but sometimes they're totally guilty, right? Even for very minor things, saying, oh, I don't think they had proper heating in that classroom. They will sue. Parents will complain. They will speak up. So I'm like, what are you babbling about? So do you mean Scientology schools? You can't be talking about normal schools. Believe me, it's there. They have counselors. There are now even police roaming schools. I'm stunned at what's happened to schools. Like when I was growing up, that wasn't the case. We didn't have security guards. Like you go to at least schools in the East Coast, that's normal now. You have to like get security checks. It's insane. They become like military prison camps. It's utterly insane. There are cameras everywhere. So what are you talking about? And I definitely know for a fact that she just is talking in ignorance. And instead of spending years teaching calculus, years teaching you'll be super lucky if your kid is advanced to get even pre-calculus. I mean, the amount of mathematical education we get is a joke. Clearly, the vast majority of students don't want to learn even very basic mathematics, right? It's taught here and there, but I'm sure the math teachers will be they'll be yelling and screaming and laughing at what the hell she just said. Where years of calculus? Point me to those schools. There's probably like 1, 2, 3, 5% of schools that do that now. You'll be lucky if you just get algebra. I mean, students are just very hostile to getting taught mathematics, and I've seen this for myself. And listen, I'm guilty of it too. When I got into college, I barely did any calculus, and my school was not the best, but we did some. So I'm like, years of calculus? Maybe if you went to a really good private school, maybe you're at a very intense private school. So she can't mean the Scientology schools because they're notorious for not teaching anything. So I'm like, this was just a really confusing mishmash. And she's like, if their Scientology school get the IRS exam, they should get government inspections. What are you talking about? Like, I don't even know what you mean. Like the FBI or CIA are gonna just come in and investigate? I mean, what? Like, this is just where are you getting this from? I have no idea what you're talking about. And by the way, good or bad, she asked rhetorically, do religious schools have the right to do yes! Yes, they do. Maybe it's not a good idea. Like if tomorrow Scientology was banned, if we got rid of every part of Scientology, it's completely illegal. It's unconstitutional. It is outlawed. Okay? Just imagine that. Right? Okay, no Scientology. In this country, the United States, which has tons of Christians, tons of Muslims, tons of Jews, you go through all the religions. Are we going to still have religious schools that, I'm not saying it's a good thing, do they have the right to teach subjects a certain manner? Yes! Yes! It's even a constitutional right. They get to do that. Now, the onus is on the parents. Maybe they shouldn't be doing that. But guess what? They can do it. She's out there, no religious schools now. Yes, they do! I was like yelling and screaming at my screen. Yes, I do, you idiots! What are you talking about? Like, oh my God. And for Aaron, she's doing this probably for now. I would advise you if you want to talk about Shelly, go to the Aaron channels. I mean, I get it. I do. I feel sympathy for her. I really do. But I mean, like, you sold your soul. You're an idiot. You don't know what the hell you're babbling about. You did a little bit of good activism back in the day, and now you're just like, you're a grifter, and you're just an idiot. Like, I could not make heads or tails. Anybody, even remotely involved with education, would be like, what the hell did you just say? There are perfectly good religious schools. There's no scandals. But yes, they will teach many subject matters in their own way, right? They still have to follow certain regulations, but if they want to, that is their right. They don't have to teach subjects a certain way. They get to do that. Them's the rule. There's even this thing called homeschooling. I know kids that did homeschooling, Jenna. What are you, an idiot? Like, how stupid are you? This is just, oh my lord. If you're going to talk about these subjects, do something. Because this babbling, like, what? I don't even know what you said. I mean, I get the basic gist that kids in Scientology schools, right, they should be protected. Got it. But that's a tautology. Kids should be people, old people, anybody should be protected. That's just a tautology. Are you going to say something or not? Because this was like a complete waste of time. I'm like, holy, oh my god, and all this propaganda to make Aaron feel better. Oh, right, we're going to make the pathological criminal feel better. Right, the pathological liar, the pathological censorer, the guy who's trying to destroy channels, rope people into his cult. We need to do the propaganda for errands. No, Jenna, we don't need to do that. And maybe if you're going to talk about education, actually know what the hell you're talking about. Because believe me, any teacher or any educator, or any remote, even a janitor in an educational system would be like, I have no idea what you just said. You're an idiot.